What's up, guys? Welcome to the Hour 2 review for last night's Monday Night Raw 6/10/24. Earlier on the channel, the Hour 1 review was uploaded, where we talk the Drew McIntyre identity crisis. We talk a girl in the Judgment Day clubhouse, and we talk a really great backstage segment, Sami Zayn and the Alpha Academy, more specifically Otis. So that is already up on the channel. And not far from now, just a few hours from now on the channel, the Hour 3 review will be uploaded. And I have a lot to say about that. Dragunov took another L. And what happened afterwards to Ricochet, even more dire. Perhaps not just written off TV, perhaps written out of the company. We talk all that later this afternoon with the Hour 3 review. But this is just the Hour 2 review, and that has a lot to talk about in and of itself, so let's get into it. The Judgment Days, Dominic, Carlito, and McDonald's take on Braun Strowman, LWO's Rey Mysterio, and Dragon Lee in 6-man tag action to start the second hour. Liv Morgan would end up being the real story here, though, as Morgan appears on the ring apron. Dominic is practically begging, frantically I might add, begging her to get off the apron and get out of here. But she refuses, of course, still trying to put the moves on Dominic. It would be Zelina Vega that would end up knocking Morgan off the apron. But Morgan lands right into and on top of Dominic, who falls backwards. Now, in the script, obviously, it would call for Liv Morgan just to lay on top of Dominic while Dominic is in no rush to get her off, right? I'm sure that's how it was scripted. But Liv Morgan, I believe, went the extra step to put on a star-studded performance. I believe Liv Morgan really wanted to grind into her performance, among other things, because Liv starts grinding on top of Dominic's mini stereo. And the look on Dominic's face told a billion words. Absolutely shocked. I do not believe that was in the original script. Like Shawn Michaels Sunday night when Sexy Red started twerking on the hard cam to start Battleground. And I'm pretty sure Shawn Michaels was screaming at production. That's why you saw all the cameras start to go haywire. Shawn Michaels was probably having a heart attack when he saw the twerking start his show. Here you have Liv Morgan, and BC is thinking what everybody else in Gorilla's probably thinking. This is not the 10 o'clock slot yet. This is still the 9 p.m. hour. This is still very PG. Strowman, Ray, and Lee would end up winning the match moments later, but at that point, most in the arena forgot that there was a match even going on. And storyline aside, you know Ray peeked over and thought, that's my boy. Like, if you're Ray, you gotta go, all right, we're doing something. Look at my boy. He's happy. He's collecting a nice check in WWE. He's got a good role, cozy in the Judgment Day. And his storyline is Liv Morgan grinding on top of him. You know, Angie might not be too happy when he gets home, obviously. The actual Mama Mysterio. But that's got to be a proud father. Too funny, man. Liv Morgan starts grinding on top of Dominic. That story is really heating up. It's one of those CM Punk Drew situations where even though Punk is injured and on the sidelines, Drew is really keeping that alive. And in this case, even though that Rhea is on the sidelines, they really got something so special with the Liv and Dominic situation. It's just it's an old Sami Zayn bloodline scenario, right? How long can they really keep that going for? We hope for a decent amount of time to at least get Rhea back, because the latest report is she is not going to be back in time for SummerSlam. So you have to really extend this. At some point, Dominic is just going to have to literally choose Liv, and they're just going to have to somehow be a twosome. And then when Rhea comes back, you reignite it. I don't know if you can go 2, 3, 4 more months with this type of storytelling. Or if so, they'll have to get uber creative. But for now, man, it's so good. Next up, Sami Zayn had an in-ring promo. Now, if you caught the Hour 1 review, we talked about a really good backstage segment between Sami Zayn and the Alpha Academy. I'll let you guys view that review. That's Hour 1. We put that up a few hours ago. and I give you my thoughts on what, again, I'll say again, was just a great backstage segment. So this was in the ring. Sami Zayn is about to take on Otis, but he's saying some words. This brings out the Academy early. Academy hits the aisleway. They stay there. Gable doesn't want to go to the ring yet. Zayn cuts Gable off. He makes another attempt to plead for the Academy to leave Chad Gable. Give the dude Das Boot. Gable says, "Enough, Sammy. We're a family and families stick together." He looks right at Otis. "No matter what." I thought that was just... Chad Gable is so good at what he does. Not just in the ring, not just on the microphone cutting promos, but mannerism, his tone, how he delivers everything. How he delivers a wrestling move, how he delivers his promos. Everything about Chad Gable, he checks off every box. He's just so good. He looks right at Otis, no matter what. Almost like making Otis feel bad if he even thinks differently. Just so well done. He then tells Sammy that he's about to unleash the most vicious Otis that he's ever seen right now. Probably shouldn't have said that, because this would lead to a matchup that was only a couple minutes in length. So I don't know if you're really doing Otis any favors in saying that. But he's gonna unleash the most vicious Otis he's ever seen. This leads again to Otis and Zayn. I'll say again, Zayn wins this pretty quickly. But Gable couldn't care less. Gable was just waiting for his cue to attack Sammy post-match, and that's exactly what he did. And he wants to prove a point, so Gable holds up Sami Zayn, and he's demanding that Otis takes him out. And Otis, although reluctantly, massively reluctantly, eventually does follow Gable's orders and takes out Zayn. But it's clear before he leaves the ring, ripping shirts up, that he is becoming less tolerant towards Gable. So it's clear that it's reaching like that boiling point for Otis. And Tozawa and Maxine continue to play their roles so beautifully as well. So I don't get the match itself. You could have done this without having Sammy and Otis looking like that. You could have gotten to that point way better and way more pristinely. But we still have a really good storyline on our hands. And whatever crowd gets the actual Otis turn, I don't know where that's going to happen, what show it's going to happen in front of what audience. But that is going to be one lucky crowd, because that pop, that ovation is going to be wild. I don't know if it's going to be Sami Zayn levels Bloodline, but man, that's going to be wild. Or... remember Daniel Bryan, was it Inside the Cage with Bray Wyatt, the whole Wyatt family? And Daniel Bryan was a part of the Wyatt family, but he finally says, absolutely not. I'm giving myself Das Boot. And it was inside a cage match, I believe, and that ovation was wild. But this is going to be, it's going to be one lucky crowd, man. Moving on. This is so bad, this next segment / match. Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark defeat Alba Fire and Isla Dawn in roughly 2 minutes. Shayna Baszler wins via pass-out referee stoppage. Now, I understand this. You have to make Shayna look strong because it's a consolation prize. 24 hours earlier, Shayna Baszler did the ultimate deed, the ultimate job for Lola Vice, and basically got knocked out, lost by referee stoppage to Lola Vice at Battleground. So this was a consolation prize. Thanks for doing that for us, for NXT, for Shawn Michaels, for Lola. Now you can go out there and beat, as much as we respect and we like Alba and Isla, jobbers. That's all they are. They got plucked from obscurity to a title match this Saturday because, and only because, they're going to be in Scotland. It's painfully obvious at this point. It's a little too much. I mean, you have Drew going for a title. Okay, heel versus heel doesn't make sense, but it's Scotland. Then you plucked Piper Niven out of obscurity when she was a jobber with Chelsea Green. Respect both of them. Love Chelsea Green. But that's the truth, right? They weren't doing anything with them. They plucked Piper, and all of a sudden she's going for the title like Drew because it's Scotland. And all of a sudden, Alba and Isla get plucked out of obscurity. This was only supposed to be Shayna and Zoe going for Jade and Bianca's title. They brought Alba and Isla from nowhere. And they're going to be going for titles because Scotland. So it didn't make sense anyway. But to put Isla and Alba into this match knowing that they were going to lose and lose so badly and quickly in just 2 minutes, why would you do that to Alba and Isla? How does that make anybody? How does that make fans believe that Alba and Isla should have a shot at titles when all they do is lose? I don't get this at all. They had Jade and Bianca, by the way, sitting ringside, right? I don't think they were actually on headset, but they were just watching the match. And what they watched was they were only there for 2 minutes. They shouldn't have even come down to the ring. Had they known it was only 2 minutes, they probably wouldn't have gotten all gussied up and camera ready. And then after their 2 minutes of watching this, I guess you can call it a match, they stand up and they start talking some trash to Shayna and Zoe, who are still in the ring, talking trash back to Bianca and Jade. As if Alba and Isla are not even there anymore. Like, I don't know how anybody is... How... This just screams. Unless they pull a massive audible because Scotland, they put the titles on Alba and Isla, which... Sorry, not sorry. You're not beating Bianca and Jade. I don't care if all 4 gals want to team up on Jade and Bianca. It's not happening. Nor should Jade and Bianca be losing those titles so quickly. They just got them. And then they lose them 2 months later in Scotland. It doesn't make sense. So, obviously, it's clear Alba and Isla are most likely going right back to catering, if not told just to stay home after the Clash at the Castle. It's pretty obvious. I mean, they were a non-factor in this whole segment, and that's a problem because they were a part of the match. I can't. That is how we ended our number 2. Again, thankfully, we had the storyline with Sami Zayn and the Alpha Academy, which was really good. And, of course, Liv Morgan and what she is doing, the work she's doing with Dominic, so really good. So, hour 2 was saved from that catastrophe at the end. But still, we got to think, what are we doing? Like, and even for Sami Zayn and the Alpha Academy, you could have avoided the Otis match. So this is one of those things that Vince used to do that Paul Levesque McMahon needs to learn. Like, you don't always have to throw them in matches to get to a result in a storyline. You can do it in much, much more pristine, better ways. That was the end of hour number 2. Now, for the hour 3 review, that'll be uploaded in just a few hours, so stay locked on the channel, obviously. Subscribe, notified, smash that up, do all the things. And hour 3's review will be coming up shortly, and I gotta tell you, it's a must listen. Dragunov, we have to talk that. That was absolutely, good for Braun. Absolutely horrendous for Dragunov and Ricochet. Wow, that was wild last night. We'll talk all about it in the hour 3 uploaded coming up. Until next time, and there will be that next time. Top guys, we're out. BC in the unit saying check you.